The Dying Slave is a marble sculpture created by the Renaissance artist Michelangelo during the 16th century. This figure, along with another sculpture made by Michelangelo, named the Rebellious Slave, were originally meant for the tomb of Pope Julius II, but were never placed there because there was no need for them at the end. The Dying Slave and the Rebellious Slave are currently located in Paris, France, at the Louvre. We see how the dying slave seems to be in a dreamlike state because of how his body seems to have been left without a soul and how his eyes are closed. This figure represents the soul's struggle against bonds of temptation and sin. We see this by the way his body seems to be stiff, even though the position he's in isn't exactly uncomfortable. This figure was never completed, and therefore we can assume that Michelangelo most likely didn't expect the public to see it. We know it's uncompleted because of the pieces of marble still attached on the figure, and the sketch of a monkey that's holding something in his paw can be seen. When it comes to creating sculptures, Michelangelo said that the figure is already there, and by carefully removing the extra pieces of marble, he is capable of setting the figure free. Besides the Renaissance being a time of rebirth, it was also a time when people rediscovered slavery. The dying slave has to do with slavery because one can see how his body seems to be struggling, and how his soul leaves his physical body. The dying slave helps us better understand how important social status was, because only the wealthy can have slaves, and the slaves would much rather go somewhere else spiritually because they couldn't leave physically. One theme having to do with the sculpture is that temptation and sin are easy to fall into if you would do anything to be free. This is referring to the slaves. This is still evident in Western culture today because people will do anything to get what they want. In some cases, it's mostly because of greed. The dying slave shows how humans take their social status seriously and put others down so that they feel more powerful. And in history, we can see events where different social classes go against each other. Even today, we see others being put down or mistreated.